Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to color vibrant galaxy lips using the Color Therapy app. You can be as creative as you want with this and add in multiple nebulas or stars really easily with the fairy dust tool and some simple strokes. Search for this image under lips. Alright, let's start off by tapping to fill in the lips with a dark purple from the purple palette. I'm just using the first color on the top row. Just tapping to fill it all in. Now scroll over to the pink palette and choose the second color on the top row. Let's use the Smudge tool for this one. Set the size at 100 and opacity at 28. Now it's very subtle, but I'm just going to be spraying around the lips just a little bit just to add a little bit of color. Now in the blue palette, I'm using the sixth color on the top row, just a light blue. Again, I'm just going to spray around the lips and I'm just kind of choosing one little section here or there. Just layering in some areas. Now choose the very last color in that palette, a light blue, and lower the size to 18 now. I'm just going to add a little bit of fog or dust to the lips in the corners. So we have the top left and then the bottom left. It looks sort of like clouds, kind of almost tracing or outlining the inside of the lips. Might focus one little area right here on the bottom right, just a little more. Now let's switch over to the Airbrush tool. Set the size at 10 and opacity at 75. Now I'm going to draw some little lines on the lower lip, just kind of focusing on this middle right side of the lip. So just drawing some lip lines. I might just draw a few more up here. I'm kind of following those lines that are already there in the template. Now let's blend that with a smear tool. I'm setting the size at 60 and intensity at 75. So I'm sort of just blending up and down, just smoothing out those lines so they're a little more seamless. Make sure that they're also curving with the lip. Now let's switch over to the spray tool. I'll set the size to 60 and opacity at 75. Now I'm going to just spray over the middle of the bottom lip, just so we have a bit of highlight down there. Can also add a little to the top, clumping it in one area for some clouds and maybe a little bit on the left side as well. Now using the same settings, choose a really bright pink from the pink palette. I'm using the sixth color on the top row, and I'm just gonna add it to the top lip in a few places so it's nice and colorful. And then in the purple palette, I'm gonna choose the fourth color from the right on the top row, and I'll just add it in again just to the top lip, just under that pink layer, and maybe just a little on the bottom too. I might add some pink just above that as well. So just have a bunch of pink, purples, and blues sort of kind of blending together. All right, let's smear that again. So set the size down to 1% now and intensity at 100. So on both the top and the bottom of the lips, you want to smear everything pretty much going up and down. You just want to go in the direction of the lips. So you want to be curving with the lips. Now I'm bringing those lines up and down, just smearing back and forth. This is also another way to draw the lip lines. Now let's add a little black for some contrast. So with the spray tool, let's lower the size to 25 and opacity at 10. Using black, I'm just spraying in the middle of the mouth, and you can turn coloring inside the lines mode to on and just really make that black. Then you just want to add it to the bottom of the top lip, going upward, and a bit on the bottom of the bottom lip as well, and in between the lips where they meet together as well. Make sure that you turn coloring inside the lines mode back to off when you're working on the inside of those lips. And if you prefer, you can use the smear tool again. You can just blend more if you'd like. Now comes the fun part, so select the fairy dust tool. Set the size and opacity at 100. Now I'm going to use that same pink and blue as before, or you could use white, it's up to you. And just add little bits of dust, just tapping into the lips. Now lower the size a bit to, it just depends, you can do size 25 or even lower. And then with white, I would just clump some sparkles together in a few areas. So making little galaxies here. I might lower that all the way down to size 1 as well, just clumping them. You can also lower the opacity to make stars look like they're further away. Now you can also draw some larger stars with the Airbrush tool and the pen tool. So start off with the Airbrush tool and lower the size to 1%. And the opacity can be about 50. To draw a star, just basically draw a T shape. Just draw it kind of large, and then I would just do a few layers just to make sure that it's nice and straight. Now in the middle of that, you can just connect and smooth out those lines so it looks more like a star. And then draw a circle around that. Within that star, then you can also draw little lines coming out of it like that. Now you want to raise the size to 50 or so, depending on how big your star is. You can leave the opacity the same and then just add a little glow around the middle. Going back to the Airbrush tool, lower the size to 1 and opacity to 75. Now using blue or really any color you want, you can add in some little planets like Saturn. Here's a blue dot you can add and then just draw a ring around it. You can do the same thing with pink. You can draw another planet just way out far in the galaxy and just draw a ring around it. So it's really up to you where you draw them, how big you make them. Try out different opacities and sizes. The steps for this tutorial can also be applied to eyeshadow. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.